And it's great to be here at Bryant. I have to tell you, it's the first time I've been here. It's a beautiful campus, world-class facilities. It's amazing. But I understand I didn't get to see the best part. No one invited me for breakfast this morning at Parente's, so I know that's in a class all by itself, but don't try to trick your parents if say you just had breakfast there. We know you spent all night there. So, but anyhow, let me be the first to congratulate you and to congratulate the graduates on a tremendous accomplishment. I'm proud to be a Bulldog. I wear my black and gold with pride. And to the board and family and friends, I'm honored to be here and receive this degree alongside distinguished recipients. Shabana and I have been friends for more than 20 years. She is truly one of the world's transformative leaders. I'm honored to be here. And Katie, congratulations to you for a lifetime of service to this school. So congratulations to my other awardees today. Now, technically, I suppose I'm a member of your graduating class, and I mean really technical since we define it in different ways. You've been here working on it for 4 years. You paid tuition, held down multiple jobs, studied hard. Me, I just showed up this morning. And I'm already Dr. Immelt. I haven't done a thing, and you have to listen to me. That's the way it should be, by the way. I'm also happy to be with Bill Connolly. We have a long history together. You know him as chairman of the board, and I know him as a GE alum. He worked for GE for 40 years. You have multiple buildings here named after him on this campus. We have no buildings named after him at GE. There is a seat in the bar where he used to sit, but other than that, his name is spoken with great fondness. Of all the speeches I have a chance to get, one of the most fun is to be on college campuses, but I recognize that the feeling's not always mutual. A lot of you wish you could have had a rock star or somebody more exciting than a business stiff as your speaker. I know that. I know Stephen Van Zandt was speaking at Rutgers this year. That'd been pretty neat. President Trump was at the Coast Guard Academy. Elizabeth Warren spoke at UMass. Bernie Sanders spoke at Brooklyn College. Let's see, Trump, Warren, Sanders. I would go back to school just to listen to the commencement speech by those three. I'd pay for that. Across town at University of Rhode Island, the Boston Globe columnist Tom Farragher is a speaker. Hey, the Globe is great, but none of you are ever going to read a newspaper, so at least I have an edge there. Now, compared to President Trump, I know I might seem a little boring. I think that's probably true. But I want you to know that having the chairman of GE does have just a few privileges. If any of you need a diesel locomotive, I can hook you up wholesale. A 2.5 megawatt wind turbine makes an awfully good ceiling fan for that stuffy Manhattan apartment. And if that still fails to impress, as Bill said, I'm the only person up here today that could actually give you a job, really. I don't think, I'm pretty sure that Stephen Van Zandt can't say that, at least not one your parents would want you to take. So I'm not famous, I didn't earn this degree, so why am I here? I'm here because I'm a survivor. I've lived a life where I had to get better every day. My uniform's a little bit dirty. I've led GE for the last 16 years. There was a time when the work of guys like me was to manage momentum. Now it's more of a case of navigating volatility. Our aim is to be a resilient, agile company built for any cycle. We make great high-tech products, and we sell them in 180 countries around the world. We innovate and we compete. We export more than $20 billion from the United States every year, and we remain a valuable and respected company after 125 years in our history. You're going to enter a volatile world. We've experienced 11 consecutive years with GDP growth less than 3%. There's multiple conflicts around the world. Small business growth is at an all-time low, and government regulations are at an all-time high. We have big problems like healthcare and infrastructure that remain unresolved. We have huge trade deficits with countries like China. People in government truly hate each other. And there's a sense that we need to protect the United States because we can't compete. But competition's going to go on whether we like it or not. And we've got to fight for our future at a time of uncertainty and volatility. A lot of it rides on the outcome. And what I know for sure, as a longtime CEO and now as an honorary Bulldog, Bryant graduates have it in you to take on all of these challenges and succeed. When I look around this country, when I look around our schools, I see potential greatness. We have the best universities, and we have classes like yours filled with raw talent, energy, and desire. And our businesses and entrepreneurship remain the best in the world. Together, I know we can compete and win. You hear people in the media sometimes lament that your future will be worse than your parents'. Don't believe it. On a relative basis, the U.S. is stronger today than it was when I began my career. But you have to compete. And as you do, you're going to scrape your knee a few times, and that's where some of my lessons might come in. I try to take life on its own terms, not just life in business, but personal life. Not much scares me, and nothing much surprises me anymore. And I hope I've learned a few lessons that might be valuable to you. First, get good at solving problems. Let's face it, my generation is going to leave you plenty of work to do. That's why I like Bryant's culture of innovation. I love your focus on design thinking, moving beyond the classroom into experiential learning. Life is a lot about understanding reality and taking action. Resiliency matters. I often quote that great philosopher, Mike Tyson, who said, "Everyone has a strategy till they get punched in the nose." I've learned to be fast on my feet. We may be the only leadership team in history that's bought and sold $100 billion worth of businesses. It wasn't a master plan. We just weren't ready for the 21st century. We needed a change. We stayed focused on the future, persevered through the tough times, and I know together we will win. But no one wins without taking risk, so learn to bet on yourself. Right now we're betting that GE can transform from an old line industrial company to a digital one. 20 or 30 years ago, most people assumed that big, complex challenges required big, complex organizations. All that's changing fast. If you pay a visit to GE, or better still, if you come to work for us, you'll see a culture of simplification where every team feels like it can compete in the digital age. Bryant's given you the skills and the confidence to bet on yourself. Nothing worthwhile is safe, and no one is beyond criticism, so you might as well go for it. A leader learns to challenge themselves and look around and say, why not us? Sure, when you take those risks, you're going to fail a few times. But it's rarely a loss because failure teaches us lessons, gives us new insights, and prepares us for the next contest. Always know in this world today that actions speak louder than words. I hate loudmouths, the talkers. Learn to compete in the arena. The problem with the internet and 24-hour news and politics is that we start confusing speeches about change with change. Words get lost. Blogs can't build a jet engine. Campaign speeches won't beat the Chinese. I joined GE in 1982, and our revenue was 80% in the United States. This year in 2017, we'll be 70% global. That takes action. I don't have to read about the world, I've lived it. One of my favorite quotes is called "The Arena" by Teddy Roosevelt. He says, it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man in the arena. And over the course of my career, I've learned to pay less attention to what people say. I watch their actions. So go do things. Don't tweet so darn much. Nobody cares what you ate for lunch. Read a book, apply for a job, go jogging. Frequently, your success is going to depend on just showing up. Regardless of your success, stay humble and hungry. Now, you're right down the road from Brown. Let me tell you, they're not humble. You can always beat arrogant people through hard work. Learn that no job is beneath you in a successful career. Effort matters. Early in my career, I led GE's appliance service business during a terrible product recall. My team had to fix 3 million refrigerators. Everybody in the business, including me, had to learn how to fix a compressor. I used to go into people's houses wearing a uniform and fix appliances. I was a terrible repairman. There's nothing more humbling than for a math major to sit on someone's kitchen floor while the ice cream melts. But hard work is contagious, and it's necessary to lead a purposeful life. And while you're generating purpose for yourself, it's important to bring purpose to others with a sense of mutual accountability. Our company is about collective strength. We reward our leaders not just for how they perform for the company, but for how they perform for each other. We know that we only work if each business, each function, and each person is committed to the same cause and takes care of each other when times are tough. That's how we build trust. We demand accountability, we demand transparency and honest self-evaluation, and we view it as a moral commitment. One thing every leader can sense is who is a giver and who is a taker. And in the end, only givers win. Now, giving means you bring people with you. Learn to appreciate their work, the simple things. Good leaders try to make a team's work meaningful to them. I try to see GE through their eyes and make it personal. I know that every person in GE has their own story. They're not faceless to me, and I'm accountable to them. But performance must be matched by purpose. Our proposition to the Bryant graduates who come to work at GE is that you're going to sit in the front seat of history. You can change the world. We're working to cure cancer and clean the environment. We're growing in China and Africa. Our products build, power, move, and cure the world. And to that, we just make progress every day. Progress is important, and it's more important than perfection, so don't fear criticism. I've been criticized by the best of them. The Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, CNBC, Fortune, and especially my wife. Early in my career, I thought I had to be perfect. I worried way too much about what people thought about me. You never really know the good days without a few bad days in between. And every day I wake up with the confidence that I can do better than I was the day before. Criticism has made me tougher, hungrier, and sharper. But you do have the right to pick your critics. You don't have to listen to people that don't know what they're talking about. So be willing to stand apart from the crowd. Know what you stand for. Today, GE has more than 70% market share of aviation engines. We enjoy that leadership because we protected our customers after the 9/11 tragedy, and we invested in R&D during the financial crisis. For this, we took an incredible amount of heat, but from our conviction came success. Through it all, live with values. Bryant's a great place, but in the real world, you're going to meet a few jerks. These are the users and the phonies and the people that always put their interest above others. Character is what you do when no one is looking, and character always shines through. And if we get to decide any one thing, it's our attitude. Never doubt the power of your attitude to shape whatever environment you're in, because it comes down to all the positive, unselfish, outward-looking qualities that make a person a hopeful force in any enterprise. So that's pretty much all you need to know. Solve problems, face reality, don't fear change. Take risks, never be afraid to bet on yourself. Do things, take action, get in the arena. Stay humble and hungry. Value hard work and resiliency. Learn from criticism, know you can get better. Bring purpose to others, not just yourself. Live with values, be authentic, and be transparent. My life has been a journey of learning and improving. I love my company and the people I work with. I'm amazed by their purpose. We're not perfect, but we're determined to create the future, and in the end, only the optimists show the way forward. GE has 55 alumni who are Bryant grads, and when I ask them what makes Bryant special, I often hear it's because of the great sense of community, people who care about each other. It's a place where you create your path, expand your world, achieve your success. And let me tell you, I feel it today. I feel it this morning. A great tribute for that culture goes to your president. I hope more of you will join me in the business world, and I'm proud of my position. I represent the great team at GE. We can beat anybody in the world. We give back competency and innovation directed at solving the world's toughest problems. We're proud to work for a purposeful company that makes a difference in the world. To offer you one very last piece of advice. Every time I go back to my alma mater, no matter how old I am, I think of my parents. It was their sacrifice and their vision that got me to college. It's hard to think of anything good that didn't start with them. So before you leave here today, you might want to tell your parents thanks. I remember feeling a little bit sad at my graduation and really struggling with a powerful hangover as well. I was apprehensive about the future, and I worried I would miss my friends but the sadness didn't last for much longer than the hangover. Friendships went on. Using knowledge turned out to be more fun than gaining it, and all kinds of great experiences followed. And it's going to be that way for you too. You've got some amazing days ahead. So thank you. I'm honored by the degree. Good luck to the class of 2017. Thank you.